before we get started with using a class with multiple programs, instance fields, yada, 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 I just wanted to click through here to talk a little bit about the upper bounds of the function in Repl that we are going to be able to squeeze here. What I will tell you is Repl is... Let me start by saying Repl is fantastic, right? Because we have squeezed a ton of really positive use out of Repl. It has allowed you to, make your homework submissions as easily as possible. In those instances where I need to get you responses back to things, I can just fork your project and send it back to you, and it all works extremely, extremely well. But because Repl runs on a server side, and because we have to use this Ubuntu Java runtime, there are going to be additional security and other related constraints that are not pertinent when you are on a desktop. This video series that we're going to do here for the beginning of Chapter 6 is the last in the video series that we will rely exclusively on Repl. Some of the examples from here on out are going to use Visual Studio Code. I will tell you, I still vastly prefer Repl, if for no other reason than it makes our lives so much easier, because you can just send me the link and I can respond to you that way. This is the issue that we are going to run into here with Repl. Everything has to be here inside of your main.java in order to run. You can think of it like having an index.html as exclusively the home page when you are doing web work and you're using WordPress or Joomla or something. Whereas if you were to host it on your own server, so think of that like your own box running Visual Studio Code, you could actually run from rectangle demo.java instead of main.java. So in this example, before you go ahead and click through and watch the real video on using class with multiple programs, just come through here and check the difference between these different programs. Rectangle demo.java and main.java are nearly essentially the same thing. This is what I've been doing and kind of not been telling you for since chapter 5 here. What I do is I copy, if I'm going to copy a portion of code from the text and change it, what I do is from inside of the public class, let's say for this one is rectangle demo, but these names have been different all this while. What I do is I locate the line after the first open curly bracket, and I go down to the line before the last closing curly brace. So everything inside of here I copy, and I paste inside of here to here. I do this every time. I actually paste it inside of here to here. I really do that every time, and I cannot cure myself of it. I have no idea why. I paste it inside of here, and boom, the program works. When Repl comes through, it sees rectangle demo.java. It sees a public static void main in rectangle demo.java, and it simply ignores it. In our next example, you're going to see this rooms areas.java. I'm going to have to do two different videos rather for this program. One where rectangle demo is main, and the other one where room areas is actually main. So thank you, Repl, for serving so capably to date. But we are starting to embark on the area where we're finally going to need Visual Studio Code. So all those weeks ago, there was the install directions for Visual Studio Code. Between Chapter 6 here in this session and Chapter 7 in the next module, it it is a good idea to go back there to see those videos, to install Visual Studio Code, and to get it set up for the Java language environment. It really doesn't take very long, but there's reason to believe that Visual Studio Code will make it at least a little faster for you when doing that. So that's just a little note here on kind of some of the behind the curtains limitations that will impact you here when you are doing the homework for this chapter, but only in the most simple of ways. Whatever you would do in the the name of the program that the text is going to have you do, so rectangledemo.java, just squint past that, and what you're writing is here, the stuff that goes inside of main. It's really not a big translation, but one that I felt like I should talk about at least briefly.